DreAllDay.com.
My name is Dre Baldwin. For those of you who don't know, my background is I come from Philadelphia. I reside in South Florida. My background is as a professional athlete. What's going on, Sean from Georgia? My background is as a professional athlete. Played basketball overseas for 9 years. During that time, I started building my brand. I started blogging in 2005, started YouTubing in 2006. To date, over 3,000 blog posts on my website, over 4,000 videos published to YouTube and viewed over 35 million times. I'm a content marketing expert. I'm an empowerment expert. I'm a basketball expert. I'm a communications expert. I'm an expert in several things, you know, and like Deion Sanders said, if you got more than one skill, you should be getting more than one check. So I like doing all those things. One of the things I like to do is share this content out here on Periscope. I appreciate y'all hitting the hearts. Y'all see the bats coming up. I just learned this trick that if you put Halloween as your hashtag in your Periscope stream, when people hit the hearts, then you'll get the bats that come up. So that's why the bats are coming up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm publishing a post to LinkedIn this morning, and this post is going to be called, actually I'm trying to figure out what I want to post. I already wrote a couple. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to use. This one is going to be called It's Your Job to Know. Learn your craft from every angle. And the reason that I titled this scope what I did is when we talking about content marketing, a lot of people, obviously content marketing is a hot thing going on right now. Everybody wants to use content marketing because you can put out content, is a very low cost, doesn't really cost you nothing but time. What's going on, Ramio? I can't even pronounce that whole name. You can tell me your real name so I can pronounce it better. But as far as content marketing goes, everybody wants to publish content because it doesn't cost. Rami from Palestine, Gaza. It's funny, I just met somebody from Palestine just last night, so you are the first two people. Jomo from Ethiopia. What's going on? Taja means crown. Taja means crown is your name, Taja. What's going on, Tasha? Think Millions. What's up? So the reason that I titled this with the content marketing, because everybody's interested in publishing content these days. Good morning to you too, Tasha. Where you checking in from? Where y'all coming from when y'all are checking in? Base Danny, what's going on? Everybody wants to put out content these days. You know, the content out in California early over there. People want to get seen. Everybody wants to build their brand. You want your business to get seen. You want to sell your products. You want to get people to become clients for your services, and content's an important way to do it. It's an easy way to do it, quote unquote easy, because it doesn't cost money and anybody can publish something at any moment. What's going on? Think Millions from Atlanta, A-Town. So the post that I'm publishing right now, as I said, I'm publishing a post on LinkedIn at this exact moment. If you're not connected to me on LinkedIn, send me a request. My name is Dre Baldwin, same name you see on here, Dre Baldwin on LinkedIn. Dre all day Baldwin. You can see a lot of my professional background. I mean, everything I do is professional. So you can see my whole background for the last 10, 11 years since I got out of college. Any Penn Staters in here? Anybody from Penn State? Anybody from Pennsylvania? Anybody from the Northeast? I'm seeing people from everywhere. I ain't seen nobody from the Northeast. Coach Kev B, what's up? Good morning to you. When it comes to content marketing, it's a slow grind. And the thing is, once you start putting out content, because sometimes people don't want to put nothing out. They're like, no, I don't want to write nothing. I don't know what to write. I don't like how I look on video. I'm sure that's not the problem for most of you. Once you start putting out content, it's not going to happen like overnight. You're not going to overnight just become a superstar because you wrote one blog post, even if it gets a lot of views or gets shared by a lot of people or a lot of hits. Or if you made one viral YouTube video, that's great. If you make one, you can't really you can't engineer that to happen. But what you got to do is keep putting out content. It's a slow grind. And what I mean by that is you got to be consistently putting stuff out over and over and over again over a period of time so that people can come to know you as the person who puts content out. So I'm about to tweet out this link to the post that I just put up on LinkedIn this morning. What's up, MHY? And this is called It's Your Job to Know. Learning your craft from every angle. I'm publishing this on LinkedIn right now. I'm about to tweet it out. My Twitter is @DreAllDay. Base Danny said it'd be a great step if I make a new outro without the Batman shirt. All right, well, tell me where your studio's at, Danny. You record it, you do all the editing, and we'll make that happen. I appreciate your offer. Thank you. So what I was talking about with the content marketing is that you got to establish yourself as a person who's putting out certain types of content or a certain quality of content or a certain volume of content. Ideally put out all three so that people start to know you. Like, all right, I know that Taja is the person who's putting out content about whatever her topic is. Or I know Danny's putting out content about basketball. Or I know Dre is going to write about what LeBron James did in his basketball games this week. You want to establish yourself as a person who puts out a certain type of content and that you're consistent with your content, so people are like, oh yeah, you know what? If you want to know about such and such, you should go follow Dre, because he always talks about that in his videos. He puts out videos every day. Or you might want to go follow Coach Kev, because he puts out videos about training people every 3 days. Or you might want to go follow Taja, because she writes blog posts about her business every single week, and you want to be in the same business. So now you'll start to know. Now you can go follow her, you get her information, see what she's doing, follow her on Twitter, connect with her on LinkedIn. So these are the things that you want to do to start building up your name. If you want people to know your name, it's not a one-time thing. It's not get retweeted by this famous person. It's not get a whole bunch of hits to this one video or a whole bunch of likes on this one Facebook post. It got to be consistent, so people are like, yo, that's the guy who does blank, whatever fill in the blank is, when it comes to your content marketing. As you're consistent, eventually people are going to know your name. And you know what they say about overnight sensations. It take you overnight successes. You work for 10 years straight and then you become an overnight success the very next day. So it's the same thing with your content. When you keep putting it out consistently, people will start knowing you for whatever that content is, and then you'll be that guy or that girl or that business or that entity or that website or that channel or that Periscope stream that everybody comes to for it. Anybody got any questions while we're here? I'll take any questions that anybody got when it comes to the topic. Is content marketing is about putting out your content consistently over a period of time. Like me personally, I put out a video on YouTube every single day for the last 6 years. I started doing that in 2009. So now I got over 4,700 videos on YouTube. As far as blogging, in 2013, I decided I was going to start blogging every day. I've been doing it every day since. Overall, and usually I put out more than one post a day. So now I got over 3,500 posts on my website. On LinkedIn, I usually post something probably 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. I don't always post on Friday, but I'm publishing new content every single day on these sites. On Periscope, I'm doing a stream every day. On my Facebook page, I'm posting something new every day. If you're not on my Facebook page, is facebook.com/workonyourgame. So you can like my Facebook page. You see different content that I put up there on Facebook. My Instagram is Dre Baldwin. My Twitter, of course, is Dre All Day. So anybody got any questions, I'll take them real quick. How do you find the motivation to do it every day? It's because you want to build something. If you're looking to build something, that's your motivation to do it every day. So you don't just do it just to do it. If you're doing it just to do it, you're not going to do it every day, because as soon as you don't feel like it, or you can't think of something to write, or you got a whole bunch of other stuff going on, you're not going to do it. So you got to have a reason to do it. So your first step is figuring out why you actually want to build this, why you want people to know you for this, or maybe you don't. If you don't want it, then you don't have to do it every day. You don't have to follow the same path as anybody else. You got to follow the path that works for you. And anybody that's hitting the hearts, I found out also today that each person who watches a stream, you can hit as far as 500 hearts, and then you got to leave and come back to get more. Taja says, as far as keeping a certain image, how do you keep control of how you are viewed by others? Well, you have 100% control, Taja. There's no way that you can lose that control unless you put out something that goes against the way that you want to be viewed. So as far as me, let's just use myself as an example. The content that I put out is coming straight from me. Nobody's writing my content for me. Nobody's making my videos. Nobody's editing anything for me. I'm putting it out exactly as I want it to be. So I have 1,000% control over how other people see me. And if I want to change how people see me, not just change the type of content I'm putting out, I go change my website. I change what I talk about on Periscope. I change my YouTube videos. I change the theme of my tweets. I change what my Facebook page looks like. That's the great thing about social media and Web 2.0, for lack of a better way to describe what we all talking about, encompassing everything, is that each individual has complete control over how they're seen, because you control the type of content that comes out about you. Now, if you become famous where the media is talking about you and they put out stuff, yes, that can have some effect, and there's always going to be people who are for you and against you, but you still have your social media. You still got your Facebook, you got your website, you got your Periscope, and if people really want to get to the source of the information nowadays, they know they could go straight to you. They don't have to read the newspaper. I mean, when's the last time one of you read a newspaper? When's the last time you watched the news? I don't pay attention to none of that stuff. If I want the news, all I do is look through my Twitter feed from the last 24 hours, and anything that happens, somebody's talking about it. I can get a link to a site that's going to tell me what happened. I can see the video, what happened in the game last night. I don't even have to watch the news. So even if the media is talking about you, you still can control your image, because you can reach the people directly anytime that you feel like it. That's the great thing about social media. So anybody else got a question? Does that answer your question, Taja? on YouTube, Coach Kev says a lot of people are doing the same things. How do you stand out from the rest? Oh, you're welcome, Taja. How do you stand out from the rest? Well, that's the $1 million question, Coach Kev B. That is the $1 million question. What is it? That's the question that I would ask to you. Like, the first thing I would ask somebody, if I'm taking on somebody, let's say as a coaching client to help build their brand, first thing I'm going to ask them is, what is it that you want people to think or feel or say when they talk about you? When they're talking about your brand, what is it that you represent? What are you bringing to the table that people have to go to you to get it? You got to be able to answer that question. So that's the number one step. What are you bringing? And if you can't really figure it out, if you don't know already, just list all the things that you like doing. What are the things that you're passionate about? What are the things that you would do if nobody was paying you to do them? So if you like basketball, like for me, for instance, I like basketball. I like writing. I like talking about confidence and motivation, about self-discipline. I like talking about empowering people so that you're not just giving them the answers, but empowering them to come up with the answers on their own so that they no longer need you. I like writing. I like reading. And I'll talk about all these things together. And I like business. I like marketing. I like building a brand. I like doing all this stuff. I like websites. I like being on the internet. I like making videos. All the stuff that I like to do, I combine all that stuff into one. And I'm putting it out in a way, and I'm speaking in my own voice, and nobody can duplicate this. Nobody can speak in my voice. Nobody can combine, even if it's 10 different things that I like to do. When I combine all 10 and I put it all under one umbrella, there's nobody who can compete with me at that, because I'm the only one doing these things all put together. So you got to figure out what your package is, your unique selling proposition, as they say. What is it that you bring that nobody else is bringing, that they like, damn, I got to go see what Kev B put out this week, because I know nobody else can say what he can say. I want to know what he got to say about this, or I want to know what he said about, what's his predictions on the basketball season, or what he thinks about building a brand, or what advice can he give me about starting a blog, because he's going to tell me in a way that nobody else can tell me. So that's the number one thing you got to do. What are you doing in a way that nobody else can do it? So you might be doing something similar to what other people are doing. That doesn't mean that you can't be unique. You just got to do it in a way that people are like, oh, okay, I see how that person's doing it. Listen, how many people out there is making YouTube videos? Millions of people are making YouTube videos, but it's a few. If I say, tell me who makes funny videos on YouTube, oh, you probably have the people that you're fans of. You're going to name me 2-3 people who you really like. So it's some way that they're doing it that nobody else is doing it. If I say, yo, I want to see a comedy show, who's the best comedian out that I should go try to see him live? How many comedians are there in the world? But most of you might say Kevin Hart. He's the biggest dude right now because he's doing it in a way that nobody else is doing it. So it doesn't mean you got to create some brand new thing. You just got to do it in a way that nobody else is doing it. Either do it more than everybody else, do it better than everybody else, or do it completely different from everybody else. If you could do all three, then you got magic. But even if you could do one, you're still in pretty good shape. Dave Chappelle's another guy. He had it. He had that title for a minute. So definitely. So who else got a question? Anybody else got a question? What I'm doing right now is, again, I told you I'm posting on LinkedIn, so I'm just putting this in. I'm posting this actually to a couple groups. Anybody else got a question while we're here on this live stream? This is Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. It's my website, content marketing, branding specialist, basketball specialist, self-discipline specialist, communication specialist. What else? I can't even think of everything else. Anybody else got a question for me this morning, 8:18 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, before we wrap up this Periscope stream? Kumral52, what's going on? Again, so what we're talking about here is the slow grind, the time that it takes to build up your brand name, to build your presence online. It doesn't happen overnight. You got to remember, like Google indexing, they index every page on the internet I don't know if it's every day, every week. It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you got to have so much content out there that when somebody goes and looks for whatever it is you're talking about, that you keep coming up. You don't want to just be a one-hit wonder. One blog post ain't going to do nothing for you. One video, unless it's Gangnam Style and gets viewed 1 billion times, that ain't going to do nothing for you. You want your brand to build so that it has lasting power. And remember that everything that you make today, somebody's going to find your content for the first time 10 days from now is going to be new to them. Somebody's finding your blog for the first time 3 years from now. Everything that you wrote today is going to be brand new to them on that day. So I advise people to write evergreen content. Evergreen content means write something that's going to be relevant at all times. Because I could write about the presidential election right now, but when the presidential election is over, nobody's going to care about that content anymore. Once the new president gets elected, what you're writing comparing to presidential candidates is not going to matter. And if you are writing, trying to keep up with the news, you always got to keep writing. You always got to be on top of what's going on every single day. There's never a point where you can chill out. When you write evergreen content, the stuff that you write is going to be useful to anybody 6 months from now, 6 years from now, 10 years from now. So I like writing evergreen content, type of stuff that will matter to anybody no matter when they come across it. And if you want to follow the news, there's nothing wrong with that. Just know that you hopping on a treadmill and you can't get off. You can't get off that treadmill once you get on it. You'll be forever chasing the headlines, or the headlines are going to be chasing you, one or the other. Anybody else got a question for me while we're here on this morning stream talking about the slow grind of building content marketing? Anyone have an idea for something that I should talk about later on? I'm always open to new ideas. I welcome new ideas. My best business moves have come from ideas that I took from the live studio audience. All right, so we're gonna wrap this stream up right now. Again, the website is dreallday.com. If you want my content marketing PDF, it's dreallday.com/content. That's 101 content ideas, free to you, a PDF, 101 content ideas for any format of content. That could be for Instagram, be for your Twitter, your Facebook, your blog, or your YouTube channel, even your Periscope. Work on your game, dreallday.com. Thanks for watching this video. I'm sure you were entertained. Make sure to stay connected with me on all your favorite social networks. Twitter and Periscope at Dre All Day, Instagram Dre Baldwin, Facebook /Work On Your Game. You can bookmark my YouTube channel by subscribing, of course, and the website is Work On Your Game, that's .me, workonyourga.me. And of course, my homepage is my website, dreallday.com, so you can know exactly what I'm doing, exactly when I'm doing it, and how you might be able to be involved. Work on your game.